Hey cousins. You know how I had did that video about that dookie chain and how that was burnt into my mind? Well, years ago I did a podcast on the lasting ramifications of the Lana Rusev and Bobby Lashley story, and the reason why having a big giant black man chopping down a petite white woman played into some of the worst stereotypes historically in the United States. And, everyone pretty much solidified what I was saying because all I saw during that terrible ass cuckold angle was Lana being blacked and BBCs and all kind of crazy shit. And then it harkens back to the sickness that is Vince McMahon, that he put his salacious sexual fantasies on display for all of us to ingest indirectly. Because remember, Vince had a dildo named after Bobby Lashley. Let's relive the Bobby Lashley and Lana and Rusev story. And it was the cuckold of all cuckolds, okay? And when I remember watching this, and it was so awkward, and they was just like tonguing each other down, and there's like footage where he was trying to lay her down in the ring, and she fell, and he lifted her up by her vagina, like he had his hands on her dress. Then they was in the bed, and it was just so ridiculous, so ridiculous. Took you on a ride with no end, no conclusion to this. No conclusion. I want, if I ever got the opportunity to ask Miro, right, what he thought, Rusev, why did you agree to let your wife get chopped down like that in a storyline? Why would you agree to a proverbial cuckold on national TV that, listen, he never recovered? Every time I see Rusev on my TV, all I remember is you let that man put you in a position, just like Maria Kanellis and her man. You let that man emasculate you, put you in a sexual lay-in fuck fantasy on live TV with your damn wife. That is insane. Let's remember the storyline, shall we? So the Rusev, Lana, and Bobby Lashley storyline was a controversial angle where Lana was Rusev's manager, left him for Bobby Lashley, initiating a public, often scandalous love triangle that involved cuckolding themes, shocking kisses, and real-life marital conflict, ultimately showcasing Lana's commitment to playing a mistress role and causing real-world tension, though Lashley praised her professionalism for helping navigate the awkwardness. Cody Tongue, listen, WrestlePalooza. This is serious. I don't got time. Bobby Lashley, I always tilt my head to the side because, sir, are you that fucking vapid and short sighted not to see how that made you look? Bobby Lashley, you was also the guy that Leo Rush was. He was your manager, and you was in that ring bending over and smacking your ass. When y'all think about the shit that Vince McMahon had Bobby Lashley doing, it all makes sense. He didn't have Brock Lesnar up there playing out his fantasies. He had the big black man doing it. Ain't that some wild shit? Oh my god! Do you know when you have an epiphany, it's like your eyeballs pop out? Oh my god! This man had that black dude doing all of his freaky ass fantasies live on fucking TV, and no one blinked. Wow. The setup. Lana is playing the Russian, and she's the manager to Rusev. Long time. Remember when The Rock came and he was talking to her all nasty, essentially calling her a hoe, and how he was going to eat her pie and stuff? They even had The Rock involved in the cuckold. They even had The Rock involved. Oh my goodness. Lana abruptly ended her relationship with Rusev and began highly publicized affair with Bobby Lashley. Everybody was just like, that time it was Randy Orton and, oh my God, Kevin Owens on the end of the ring. And Lana like slapped Rusev, walked down the ring, and then Bobby Lashley was standing on the end. I think they just got having a match. She walked up to him and just started sucking this man's mouth, and he lifted her leg up. He was rubbing, and they doing all of this in front of a live audience. And you can see Randy and Kevin Hart over there, Kevin Hart and Kevin Owens just laughing, and they was like, couldn't be me. Can you imagine Randy Orton's wife allowing him in that fucking line? Like what? She was mad when Alexa Bliss straddled Randy Orton in the pin. Listen, his wife was like, "What the hell?" Kevin Owens' wife, I know she'd have been like, "Absolutely the fuck not." No, Bobby Lashley's not married, but I see Bobby Lashley. He's so ambitious that you can have that man. I don't even know. He looked like he'll do whatever you want him to do to put him in a position where he's gonna be gained in get some gain in the wrestling world. Remember when I played that clip of Rob Van Dam talking about Pat Patterson had grabbed that black dude's dick in the elevator? Bobby Lashley probably would let Pat Patterson suck him off. Y'all think I'm joking? For you to stand up there and let that happen, man. Listen, the angle featured provocative moments, including exaggerated public displays of affection and scandalous photo shoots with Vince McMahon instructing Lana to make him over the top. Then into Liv Morgan. I don't even know where she came from. The storyline later involved Liv Morgan, who revealed she was having an affair with Lana, adding another layer to the chaos before the part of the story quickly fizzled out. The feud concluded with Lashley and Lana getting married, and Rusev eventually leaving the WWE, with the angle never reaching a definitive, satisfying conclusion. Okay? Lashley admitted that the romantic scenes were awkward, especially working with Lana and her actual husband, but credited Lana for making it professional. Big dummy. What a big dumb thing to say. Let's listen.
But was the Lana Rusev love triangle, was that probably the most uncomfortable you were, or like most, outside of what you had done before?
No, it could have been if I would have worked with someone else. I can say this, and I've said this several times before, but then again, I'm very positive with everything. But I can honestly say it was 100% Lana that was able to, one, make me feel comfortable doing it, and then two, just trying to do things to really further that whole feud. She was on top of everything. She was always like, all right, I got a photographer over here. We need to walk so the people see us together. So it's not like something where they're just like, oh, they don't care about it. So I was like, all right. But all I'm thinking about is, oh, who am I supposed to wrestle or go smash? She's like, no, we need to come over here and take these pictures. We need to go do this. And she was like pulling me all these different directions. And I was just like, all right. You cool with all this? She's like, yes.
Cause she was ambitious as well. Lana's always been ambitious and willing to put her ass and titties on the spot. Remember, she went to AEW under the hot and flexible and sexy shit. I just never, even when Lana was on Total Divas, it was always an airs of trash. It was always like they put her in positions where she just trashy and dumb. She was supposed to get married, her and Rusev, and he's from Bulgaria, so they have a whole tradition. And she grew up Russian, ballerina, the whole staunch, crazy type commune family. But I feel like because of her upbringing, she just balls to the walls. Kissing girls and all that was a storyline, and Rusev multiple times was like, I'm not used to this, I'm uncomfortable, you my wife, stop kissing women. And she like pushed the envelope. Lana always pushes the envelope, and this is no different.
Able to put herself into characters. Lana's a sweetheart, and I think that she is very I know that some people were hard on her because it was like, it seems like she tries too much. She tries too hard. And sometimes it comes as not sincere to people. And I think some people kind of jumped on her about it. But working with her, I think she's a sweetheart. sweetheart girl, and she really helped me feel comfortable in that role. And you know, I had nothing but respect for her going through it because she kept it very respectful. I was working with her and her husband, and she understood what the plan was. So she wanted to play her part.
What was the plan? There was no plan. We literally watched nothing more than Vince McMahon's fantasy for Bobby Lashley. He wanted to see a big black man fuck a small white woman and have and have the husband watch. Like I'm still floored by this. And then even when Liv Morgan showed up at the wedding and she had that half cut like suit on and she was like, "I love you," and she ended up getting hit with cake. It was a bunch of dumb shit with no conclusion. In essence, I like what this says. In essence, the angle was controversial, often uncomfortable. WWE soap opera designed for shock, where Lana played a defiant mistress, Lashley played a powerful lover, and Rusev was the humiliating husband, all the while navigating their real-life relationships behind the scenes. Lashley later praised Lana. Listen, it just wasn't a good look. It was a terrible storyline. They cucked out Rusev, and now he's back in the WWE. And I'm sorry to tell you, that storyline trumped Rusev Day. That storyline is a stain on all three of their careers. Because I would ask Lon the same thing. What the fuck made you do that to your husband? For y'all to go, and you go to AEW and damn near do the same thing. She was flexible and sexy, and then she was working with Andrade, and then she was running down her husband. But this time, Miro in AEW was like, "I ain't fucking with you, period." And then you end up getting put out of there too. Like, sex only goes but so far. Now, if Lana was more demure and like low key, maybe that would have went over. But the way that was just, oh my God. It was terrible. Not to mention the stereotype. We talk about the black men and the representation in pro wrestling. When I saw Bobby Lashley chopping this woman down, all of the black comments, all of the Pornhub comments, all of the BBC comments, oh my goodness, it was so awful and hard to watch. Historically, that is the reason why a lot of lynchings and all this awful stuff that happened to black people was because a white woman said some black men wanted to have sex with her. And you put that on display and just people supposed to eat it up. Go back in the archives. It's like a lightning in the middle of it. I broke it up. The ramifications of this Lana Rusev shit cuckold is going to be felt for years to come. And here we are till this day. You can't tell me you don't look at Rusev and be like, this motherfucker was on TV and the whole cuckold. And I sat there and watched this shit. Do you know how fucking sick that is? Oh, we was this close to just watching them fuck, and Rusev sit there and watch a big black man fuck his white wife. That's what a cuckold is, and the husband sit there and watch this shit. Vince McMahon's a sick, nasty fucker, nasty fucker, child. Other highlights of the storyline include Lana. She got a restraining order against Rusev in order to keep him away from her, and Rusev wouldn't be allowed inside the arena. Each week, he did manage to sneak in to attack Lashley, which led him and Lana bringing out some security to have Rusev arrested. But that backfired. Rusev snuck in and got the best of the situation, which led to Lashley losing his mind against the authorities, and then he ended up getting arrested. Lana then opted to slap them, and she ended up in the back of the police car alongside her boyfriend. The storyline then saw the first ever live divorce take place on Monday Night Raw, and Rusev put Bobby Lashley through a table. Then they had a tables match. He got his wish to finally get his hands on Bobby Lashley one-on-one. The two of them completed in a TLC pay-per-view in a tables match. Then they had a whole wedding. Okay, now Rusev lost. They had a whole wedding, and the next night on Raw, she made the announcement that she and Bobby were taking a relationship to the next step, and they were getting married, and it was, of course, in the ring. And So you already know it's going to be cake and nonsense. Liv Morgan then returned to WWE to join the storyline, claiming she and Lana had been lovers as well. Lana and Morgan brawled around the ring. Things were made even worse when Rusev popped out the cake and ruined the wedding. And then Rusev and Bobby Lashley had another fight, and he gave them the presents of a photo album with images of their disastrous wedding cake. Rusev then made a challenge to Bobby for another match and he accepted, and it was dominated, and it ended in Lashley scoring the victory. Lana once again played her part, distracting Rusev, to which Liv Morgan attempted to level the playing field. However, she ended up with the drink thrown in her face. Then they had a mixed tag team match with Liv Morgan and Rusev versus Lana and Bobby Lashley. And that was really the end of it. You know, it stopped right there, and it took place on it. It was gonna take place on Raw, and that was it. There was no conclusion to this outside of Rusev ended up leaving, and Vince McMahon humiliated him and put everyone in this storyline was humiliated and just ran down on live fucking TV for the sexual gratification of Vince McMahon. Ain't nobody can tell me nothing different. Because this was absolutely fucking ridiculous then, and it was absolutely disgusting and ridiculous now. Y'all go ahead and get in the comments and tell me what you think.